Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. This is another one of those monthly readings, only this time we're going to be looking at September. As usual, we'll be looking at each of your birth months for September. And as we go through, if you haven't been here before, then you might find something that's quite different from the usual sorts of predictions that are made on YouTube. If you are a regular viewer, then welcome back. I hope that your August went as it should have, and if you used the colours that were missing to incorporate those into your lives, then maybe, just maybe, it was a better August for you than it might otherwise have panned out. I'm particularly thankful to you for attending these sessions because I really am still in the experimental stage, wondering whether or not these are worthwhile. But they're fun to do, and I hope you enjoy them as well. So let's get started. For September's readings, I've chosen an oracle card from the Gabrielle Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. It's a new season, and so we should have some interesting stuff coming to us from the universe. And hopefully those messages will resonate with you and consolidate some of the reading as we go along. So let's now do a colour reading for people born in the month of January for September 2025 and see how September will unfold for them. I think my shuffling is gradually improving. Well, maybe. These are the oracle cards, and we'll just choose one. One, yes. They're fairly thick, which makes it difficult to feel. And we'll pop it under there to look at the end of the reading to see how it fits with what the colours tell us. I need a colour reading for people born in January to see how their September 2025 will unfold. A colour reading for people born in January. I pre-shuffle these, so they don't need a great deal of mixing here. So the energy from the past is grey on purple. The energy in the present will be brown on pink. And the energy with which you leave the month is red on purple. And the underlying energy is white on green. Well, the first thing we notice is that we have a colour that is repeated. It is purple. It occurs as the drive or motivation that comes from the past, and it's also the drive and motivation that takes you into the future. All the other colours are different. The underlying energy here is the one that permeates throughout the entirety of the month, and what we have here is white on green. Now, white on green resonates with the tarot as the card called Death. This means that there is going to be an absolute change, an ending of whatever it is that came before that will lead you through the whole of September and out the other side. Green internally is the desire for something new. It's the desire for a different pastures, for a change in values, for changes generally in any direction that you can possibly go in. Green is a search for opportunities, is a search for things that will enable you to grow into somewhere different. White in the real world, as the action that you take, however, means that that new growth goes anywhere at all. There is no specific direction that is chosen with this. And of course, that fits in with the idea of death as a tarot card. You don't know what the next life is going to be. You don't know what the afterlife is going to be. You simply know that a change is taking place, a change for renewal, not just for renewal of your body, but also renewal of your mind and renewal for those around you as well. So for you, the underlying energy of this death combination, this white on green, is all about taking on new directions as a result of changes in your own values. Now, in the past, you've had grey on purple. In the past, there has been a desire for disruption, a desire for change, a desire that is different to the change that you're looking for here. Here it's change through opportunity. Here it's change through destruction and creation. Whatever it is that you needed in the past has been something that has created a great deal of disruption in your life. You want to recreate it into something a little more stable. And that together, that destruction creation energy is actually an energy of healing. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off a sore. You know that there is new healed skin underneath, but the amount of pain that will occur as you rip that Band-Aid off will, of course, recreate the damage that was there beforehand, or at least the feeling of it. So here, the desire for healing, the desire for things to get better, for change that will operate in a way that enables things to grow differently or to be created differently, because this is all about growth, this is just creation, comes through in the real world, or has in the past, as something fairly indeterminate. Grey is always about confusion, indecision, the inability to see clearly. And this is what's happened here. You've found that in the past, you've wanted things to get better. You've wanted some sort of healing to take place, some sort of repair of what has been damaged. But in the real world, you haven't really known which direction to take. And what direction you have taken hasn't necessarily given you the sort of results that you were after, or you didn't know or understand what those results were actually referring to. Now, if we look at the underlying energy along with this, we can take that confusion, that uncertainty of the actions in the past, and link them to the green, the opportunities, the need or drive for new paths, new values, new changes, new life internally. Now, grey is not much removed from white. It is, in fact, just a simple addition of the colour black. So it's a darkened version of the white. So whereas this represented death, or the absolute change from an old life to a new life, here we have a modified change of an old life to a new life. So unlike the drive, the underlying energy that was trying to force you into a new life, what you could actually in the past have experienced is a modification of that very same drive. You weren't certain about the new life that you were heading into. In fact, you probably didn't even want the particular life as it was presenting itself. On the other hand, you could also have white on purple. Now, white on purple is also one of the tarot cards. Only this time, it's the devil. And here we have a situation where your need for consolidating your life, or getting your masculine and feminine energies into play, being able to destroy what was in the past, start off in a new direction, has in fact also offered you nothing. And in offering you that nothing, you have found yourself repeating the same issues that caused you to need to go back to making changes again. So in fact, the devil is all about addiction. It's about repetition. It's about sameness. Things don't change. Whereas the energy of the grey and green, or the white and green, is asking you to make changes. So there's been a conflict here, a conflict of what sort of direction do you really want to go in? Is it one that enables you to make a total break from the past, or is it one that's going to make you make a partial change from the past, or is it one in which it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to go back to whatever habits and relationships and experiences that you had in the past. It's just going to be a repetition of the same. When we get to the center of the month, the majority part of it, we have here brown on pink. Now, pink is the opposite of green in one way. It's green actually has the opposite of red, but pink is very closely aligned to it because it is a reduced red. It's a red that has been bleached out. And when we have pink occurring as a way of dealing with this energy, this drive for new life, this means exhaustion. You can't do what you wanted to do. In the real world, there's lots of things you need to learn, lots of things you need to practice. There are goals and ambitions and things that you want to achieve, but where's the energy coming from? It's all about desire rather than accomplishment. And that's a bit of a struggle for you, because for people born in January, how are you going to manage that struggle? How are you going to overcome this lack of ability to do things when in the real world there are lots of things that need doing? When we look at how the underlying energy impinges on this, we have an opportunity here for the ability to manifest things in the real world as a result of that drive to get things done, to change, to make differences by grabbing at opportunities. You want new life? Here you go. This is how you go about getting it. Learn these skills, take these particular ambitions on board, aim for them, do the work that's necessary, and then go ahead and achieve. On the other hand, you might go down the path of white over pink. Now, that's another one of the tarot cards, and this time it's the tarot card of justice. Here we have everything and anything and nothing all at once arising out of your inability to make changes yourself. You are vulnerable to whatever it is that is being thrown in your direction. Now, justice is usually a positive card if you're looking at the tarot. Here, in color terms, it can be either positive or negative. It's what you deserve. Do you deserve good things? Do you deserve punishment? Both of those are hidden here within the white, because white has no color of its own. It has no hue. It is simply a color term. And as such, it encompasses everything and nothing all at once. So this drive for freedom, the drive for a new life through hard work and new skills and the choices that you make, can in fact also come back to what is it that you deserve as a result of your interaction with what has happened in the past here. This making changes but not knowing what direction to take them into. As we head into the future, we've still got that same drive for making things better, for making changes, for challenging whatever it is that was and ripping it apart and then recreating it in some new way. But in to do so, you're now finding yourself using up lots and lots of energy, taking charge, being the person who decides, who acts out, who makes the responsibility, who in fact orders things into being. And this is a very powerful tarot card in its own right. This is the Sun. Here we have change taking place, as the Sun does, and in the real world, ruling those changes. And together, those two colors, red and purple, will actually create life. But it's life in every direction. Unlike the life here, where you're trying to create a new life but don't know what, here, where the life is associated with trying to find a particular direction to go in, here the Sun is both optimism and ability to create life, but that life is in any direction. There is all sorts of opportunity here coming from the underlying energy, but at the same time, you've also got this nurturing of everything, because the blue nurturing color is hidden here inside the purple. Now, when we add the underlying energies together here with the sun energy of the future, we can have red over green. Now, that's another one of the tarot cards, and this time it's the Ace of Wands. It's inspiration. You want a new life? All you have to do is grab it, take it. Let yourself become inspired. Do what is necessary in order for you to step out of this old life into a new one and take off. The other alternative is white over purple, which is also a tarot card color combination. And we already met that one. It's back here. It's the devil. Are you going to grab that inspiration and run with it? Or are you simply going to let go and go back to where you were to start off with? This is the conundrum that you'll be facing throughout the month of September. You have opportunities, you have desires. There are uncertainties, but there's also a wide open book that hasn't been written in yet. You have skills, you have the ability to attract what you need. There is desire as well as the ability to heal, but there's also the hindrance or the lure of going back to where you were to start off with. What are you going to choose? Let's have a look at the colours that are missing to find out what you could be doing. There's no black, but you do have white. You have red. There's no yellow. You do have green. There's no blue. You have brown. There's no orange. Whoops. You have grey. You have purple. You have pink, but there is no cyan. So what we have here in these 7 colours are the issues and skills that you will be dealing with throughout the month of September. And they are opportunities, but they're also warnings. There is optimism, but there's also pessimism in an inability to move forward. What you don't have going for you at the moment, and the skills that you probably could do with, are these 5 colours. Black is all about going inward, taking time out, checking with your soul energy what it is that is best for you. Yellow is about learning and remembering and being positive in the way in which you take in new information. Blue is about self-nurture. It's also about organisation and being able to make things steady and comfortable for yourself and for others in your environment. Orange is about confrontation. Are you able to survive the issues that are sent towards you, the trials and tribulations that you may meet along the way? And cyan is all about bliss and comfort and absolute contentment. It arises from the blue. If you do the work to create nurture, then you can sit back and reap the rewards. And that's what this is about. Of those 5 colours, it would be advisable for you to choose the one colour that is most appealing and then the colour that is least appealing, and place them into your life in some way. In doing so, you will enlarge your repertoire so that what you have here that is causing this ability to either have a positive outlook or drag yourself back away from the inspiration that is potentially there for you and move in a different direction altogether. Let's have a look at what the oracle has to say. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Well, let's have a look at what's happening here. Outer experiences are energy to spare, ambition and skills, confusion, and a wide open book. They're a reflection of your internal conditions, dissatisfaction with what is, vulnerability to change, and the desire for new opportunities. Use these colours and let's see how far you can travel with this outer experiences that will take you somewhere else. Are you game for it? And there you have it, your birthday month as it plays out for September 2025. I hope that these readings are useful to you to help guide you through the various different decisions that need to be made and the activities that accompany those decisions. But if it doesn't resonate immediately, perhaps come back in a week or so, because you never know just how these things tend to play out. And often we don't recognize them unless they are in retrospect. As I mentioned at the start, I pre-shuffle all the cards, and if you want to know how I go about doing this, I will attach a link to the video that explains that down below in the show notes. But if you've got any comments to make, any ideas that either support or even refute the sort of information that I'm handing out here, please leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to engage. After all, a discussion isn't a discussion. A conversation is not a conversation when there's only one person doing the talking. So for September, I wish you all the best. I hope your colours work for you. I certainly use mine. Mine this month were all about to stop, settle back, and reorganize. And as you can see from the way in which I've presented this month's sessions, I've done a little bit of just that. So until next time, may your colours guide you to a wonderfully fulfilling life. Bye.